Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Nat Bullen, here for another quick training. Um, if you are watching this and you are not in Birthright, this is part one, a snippet of what we're going to be working through when it comes to forecasting and budgeting. But I wanted to put this front end out publicly because I know it will help so many people. All right. So if you've been following along, you've been seeing me talk more about getting on top of your money, like getting in control of it. I find that a lot of us take some of our habits from our personal finances and put them into our businesses, which stunts our business growth. So the goal today is to figure out what you really want and to keep your eye on the prize. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means and how you know you're out of alignment. I feel like there's a lot of pivot going on online, and pivot is okay. Pivot is fine if that's what you need to do. But if you find yourself pivoting every 3 months, if you struggle to promote any one offer because you're not really sure month to month or quarter to quarter what you're going to sell, you absolutely want to tune into this particular training because it's key. I think that if fundamental business development was offered and taken by everybody who embarked in business, we'd all be a lot further ahead. And you can have a coach and get great advice, but not be centered and grounded in what you're working towards. So I was in a training earlier today, and in the training, we were talking KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators. They are bits of data that let you know whether you are accomplishing something. If your child is in school, KPIs might be quiz scores, project scores, test scores. You don't just wonder, is your child going to pass at the end of the year? You've got a lot of KPIs and a lot of data that fed into that. Make sense? So we were talking today in this training about KPIs, and I had to admit, you know what? Right now, I'm kind of feeling in my gut that I've been tracking too many KPIs and that I've lost sight of my objective. It's important for you to know what kind of business you're trying to grow. If you're watching this right now, your business is probably doing somewhere in the low six figures, 100K, 200K, 300K a year, maybe 500K a year. And if you follow me, you probably want that number to be double or triple or quadruple what it is right now. You wouldn't mind if your top line revenue was 1 million or 2 million or 5 million. That's why you follow me. I talk about making more money, and that's what you want. But there are ways that you go about growing your company, and you got to decide what your growth strategy is so that you can invest in the right place. I'll see people who get pushed and pulled in the sea of options. And some just get bullied, right? I've had people flat out tell me, you have to start a membership. You have to sell a low ticket membership. You're not a real business owner because you don't own a low ticket membership. Sell something that's $7 a month or $17 a month or $27 a month and grow this thing. And I'm not saying that's bad advice, but you have to ask yourself, what kind of company are we and what kind of growth strategy are we going to deploy? Because there's more than one and you can't really pursue more than one at once. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these different strategies and give some examples so you can understand. That way, when you go to put your marketing dollars to use, you're not chasing a lot of rabbits. So let's think first things first. What is the first growth strategy that you can deploy? There's an option called market penetration. And market penetration is when you try to increase your market share within your existing market using your current services. So this could be if you right there. So if you are here and you sell coaching, let's say Taylor's here. Taylor got a service already. Taylor has a market already. Taylor has an audience already. So if Taylor wants to deploy a market penetration strategy, it literally just means getting more market share, meaning having a larger percentage of all available buyers buy from her instead of competitors with the existing market right here on Facebook and the existing services she already has. That is an option. If you do that, you got to think, how can I get a larger share of the current market? And that could be increasing your client experience, giving superior results, outperforming competitors in service or quality, you could run retargeting ads to the people you already have in your audience. If you are wanting to limit new policies, new processes, new offers, market penetration is great. One of my peers that I follow, M. Shannon Hernandez, made a post about how she doesn't launch anymore. She sells the same core suite of offers year round. And that has reduced the stress on her and her business. Shannon is deploying a market penetration strategy. Same market, same offers. She wants more market share. She wants more people in the existing conditions to buy the stuff. If that's your objective, it doesn't make a lot of sense to spend a lot of money in research and development creating a whole bunch of programs, right? It doesn't make sense to have a whole lot of projects, right? It doesn't make sense to try to penetrate new markets and create new offers and do something different. So if market penetration is your goal, if you like, look, I want to be just like I was last year. I just want to double my revenue. I just want to sell more to the people who already follow me. Easy. Then that's what you can do. And you can figure out, how can I get people to use my service more or longer? How can I upsell and cross sell into other products that we already have? Okay. That's an option. What I see people do is they don't know what strategy they're chasing. They aren't really certain what the growth strategy of their company is. So they spend a lot of money pursuing a lot of strategies and none of them pay off. All right. If you're not interested in that, maybe you're not in love with your current market, you could deploy option 2, which is market development. Market development is when you take your existing services out into a new market. Okay. This is really common, especially in our online little coaching bubble, because a lot of times you'll realize my existing audience, for whatever reason, ain't it. So I either need a new geographical location, or I need to target different industries, or I need to target different demographics, maybe older people or younger people. When you see people like niche down or move into a new niche, this is usually what's happened. They've decided my services are great, but the market that I'm selling them to is not a good fit. I had a client who was in PR and decided that they wanted to move out of the big celebrity realm. They had some really big celebrity clients, and these celebrity clients were always putting their foot in their mouths and having these gaffes and having these problems, and she had these really restrictive NDAs, so she couldn't even like promote the business, and they were always in hot water, and it was stressful, and it was last minute. She was up all night, she had a new baby, so she decided, I'm gonna do PR for coach types, solopreneur types, people who do live events and launches, people who are doing between 1 and 5 million a year in revenue, not folks that are, NBA players and rappers and stuff. She took her existing services and put them in a new market. And a new market just means it's somebody else. It's an industry you haven't served before. It could be a different age group, different profession, different income level. Same service, new market. If this is your strategy, then you'll see people invest in how do you get in front of a new market. So like when people want to move from B2C to B2B, that's a market development strategy. If you're saying, I don't want to sell to solopreneurs anymore, I want to sell to big corporations, existing service, new market. So it could make sense for you to spend money to get around a new audience, doing networking, running ads, getting in summits, whatever it's going to take to be able to get into a new market. So not the same people, different people. Same offer, different people. All right. The third growth strategy is product development. So that's when you have a new service and you sell it in your existing markets. This is what Unapologetic Wealth is currently doing, right? So we have a new suite of wealth offers. Do we still have VIP days that help you grow your revenue? Hell yeah. Do we still have messaging audits worth of $500? I can review your message, your copy, and your vibe and get you a Loom report with my findings? Absolutely. Are there still ways for you to work with me privately for $3K a month? You betcha. But we also have a new suite of offers. Birthright is here. New money will be coming out next year. We just need to do some more market research and a focus group. But it will be new services in my existing market. Why would I do that? Well, one, I already have access to my existing market. Y'all are already here. You're watching right now. And maybe you haven't needed sales support. Maybe your revenue is fine. Maybe you're already running a high revenue business, but you have nothing to show for it because it's not, your business is not making you rich. Maybe you want to learn how to take the active income from your business to create passive income with the stock market. Or maybe you want to take the active income from your business to become financially solvent and really take control of your money. That's new money and birthright, respectively. So you'll see people do strategies like creating new offers, maybe using AI to enhance the offers they already have, creating new features or new modules on their existing services. So it doesn't have to be a big product. Like we're going to launch a new course. It's going to be called Profitable Podcast Guest, and it's going to teach you how to maximize when people invite you on their podcast. And people are going to make money with it and they're going to be super excited about it. All right. Um and so this can also be an extension of what you were doing. This is how I got into writing copy, right? Because I did not like that I could help people with their message and really refine their message. But then because they didn't know how to write copy or didn't have a copywriter, that the copy would fall flat. Message and copy are not the same. But it doesn't matter how strong your message is if you don't have the words to convey it correctly or if you don't feel strong in your writing skill. That's why I've offered done for you copy before. So this was a new service in an existing market. I already have leads. I just needed to figure out how to sell more services to more of them. All right. Option 4 is diversification. And this one is the most risky. So these have been going up in risk. I don't know if you've noticed that. Market penetration has very low risk. You're taking services you already have in a market you already serve, and you're just trying to get those people to pay you more money. Easy peasy, not a lot of risk. Market development is saying, let's take services we already know that work and let's take them out into a new market. Is there some risk? Absolutely. But you're not spending a whole lot of money revamping all your offers. You already know how to market them. Hopefully you already have your message together. Product development is risky because it takes money to bring new services into the market. It takes research and development. It takes market research. It takes time, energy, effort, new brand. I mean, I cannot tell you how much money we have spent getting this wealth suite off the ground. We're not done yet. So product development is risky. Diversification is the most risky. It's saying take some new services and put them in some new markets. I doubt that anybody watching this is actually trying to do that. But I've seen it. Like if an ads management agency started offering web development services and targeted like a brand new audience, like e-commerce startups, that could be one. I actually do know a woman who was running a marketing agency and she started offering bookkeeping, accounting, and CFO services to like brick and mortar businesses in her town. So I've seen people do it, but it's rare. Why am I telling you all this? Why am I going down this rabbit hole? Because when you go to project what you're going to make next month and what you're going to make next quarter, you need to ask yourself, what are we trying to achieve? So that you can spend money in the right place. Because if you are trying to deploy a product development strategy, which is when you put a new service in an existing market, you're going to have to budget for the cost of bringing that new offer to light. You're going to have to budget for the cost of new copy and a new site, a new sales page, a new funnel, maybe even a new opt-in because you got a brand new offer. You cannot budget like if you were trying to deploy a market penetration strategy where you're taking your existing service and your existing market and just trying to get more money. So if you already run retreats twice a year, running them 4 times a year would not be hard, right? You already have the audience. You just need to find people and you just put them in the retreats. And so what I'll see people do is they'll say, Natalie, I just want more clients. And I'm like, cool. What kind of clients? The clients I already have. I just want more of what I have. I want to clone my best clients. Great. But then when they start talking about money they're going to spend next year, it's got all this crap in it. Oh, well, I'm going to hire this marketing agency. And they're gonna run ads so that I can get more eyeballs on my product. Right, but like you already have a marketplace. I thought you were trying to market to the people you already had. Well, yeah, but I mean, those people don't really buy, and so I'm hoping if we start running ads that the new people will buy. Well, if your organic content isn't working and it isn't converting the people you want, what makes you think that putting money behind paid ads is going to change anything? You're just going to have more bad fit leads. All leads aren't worth having. Most leads aren't worth paying for. If the people aren't qualified for free, they're not going to magically become qualified because you paid. Or I'll see people that have a really low budget for marketing when they're trying a big pivot. Again, when you're doing product development or diversification, if you're saying we're putting a new service out there, you got to get an MVP, but you have to refine it. So in Birthright, we're actually building out the curriculum based on the feedback that we've received from the people in the program. And part of what we're building out is financial dashboards. And so that takes time, energy, effort, recording all the videos, making sure that all the calculations work. We're not just like stealing somebody's worksheet. We're building one out that will help people be able to see I need to spend between 7 and 10% on marketing next year. And no, that does not mean hiring a coach. To me, spending $20,000 on a coach is not marketing, even if that coach is a marketing coach. To me, that would be somebody who is directly impacting, like doing the marketing, the person running the ad, the actual ad spend, the money on the lead gen, the money spent on the funnel, the money spent on the software to be able to deliver it, anything that you're spending out getting visibility, money that you spent to get on stages, money that you spent being an affiliate. Those to me are marketing expenses. I talk to people who have a 0% that they plan to spend for marketing. How? How? You cannot tell me in earnest in November that you plan on launching 2 new offers next year, but you ain't got nothing allocated towards marketing. Like that doesn't align. And so I just feel like there hasn't been a lot of talk around here are the foundational pieces of business that you have to know. And this is the element of risk that you involve when you try to move out into a new market or when you try to move out into a new product. And so I meet people, I attract pivoters, and I'm not saying I don't like pivoters. I'm saying most people who pivot do not have a good grasp on the risk that they are taking. Everything you try in business is an experiment. So let's just start there. That it's all an experiment. So if you don't plan, an experiment can fail. Let's go there. There is no such thing as a 100% sure experiment. So if you know that you're moving into a new product, a new suite, a new market, there is some risk. Most people don't price for that risk. Most people don't plan for that risk. I had a lot of people ask me how my launches have gone. How was High Ticket Hit List and how was Sales Siren Academy? And they're like, oh, Natalie, your stuff always sells. No, it doesn't. It doesn't always sell the number that we needed to sell on the first time. No, that's why you have multiple webinars. That's why you have multiple workshops. Why do you think I've done down in the DMs 3 or 4 times? You were fine. You were fine. You were fine. But in the meantime, it's still going to cost money for you to grow your business. So let's say your break even point is 20,000 in your business. That's how much it takes to pay you, to pay your OBM, to pay your VA, to pay your accountant, and to run your business, the software and costs. That also has a little bit of money for your debt repayment. Let's say you have a credit card, and to set some money aside for savings and taxes. I think that's hard to do on 20K, but let's say you can do it on 20K. All right. So if you've got this new offer that you want to create and put out there, you got to ask yourself, how long is it going to take for us to go from ideation to getting a minimally viable product out there that we can sell? Once we're selling it, how long is it going to take for us to get this viable? Let's say you want to get this new offer to 25% of your revenue. You think that's going to happen all at once? You think you're going to go from an offer that creates 0% of your revenue to 25% of your revenue overnight? No. So you probably need to ramp up your projections to where maybe the first month it's 5% of your revenue. And then a few months later, it's 10% of your revenue. And then a few months later, it's 15% of your revenue. And if you want it to be 25%, but it's 5%. What makes up the other 95%? Can you keep selling what you've been selling to keep yourself afloat until the thing that you launch takes off? That's the beauty of planning what you're going to do. This quarter is a planning quarter for me. I'm going to be refining what it looks like for unapologetic wealth going forward. And I can tell you the epiphany I had in that training today. I do not want a company that makes 80% of its money from mega group coaching programs. I don't. I've always been an exclusive coach. I've never had 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 private clients. I typically will charge more and have fewer clients and go do really deep work with them. The people who've worked privately with me will tell you that having me in your corner is a flex because I actually give a damn. It's not even about me out coaching other people. I just show up more than other people and care more than a lot of people. So I would rather have a business that's 50% of my revenue is private clients. That's not for everybody, and that's okay. But recognizing that is important. Your homework should be, what percentage of my business do I want to be my existing offer suite? And each offer should be what percentage of my company. That way, when a new idea sparks, you can be realistic. Because if right now 80% of your business is group coaching programs, it might sound good to go have a live event or to have a retreat or to bring on a whole bunch of private clients. But you have to ask yourself, is this going to disrupt what I already have built? Is that the direction we want to go? Is it worth spending 20, 30, 40, 50% of our time on something that's only going to generate 5 or 10% of our revenue? Does this new offer even align? Most of the people, and they're almost always guys, most of the men who want me to run a low ticket membership so badly don't sell to the kind of people I sell to. They do not sell to high ticket buyers. They do not sell to people with discerning taste. They sell to people who buy like the masses. They sell to people who are bored, barely in business, and don't mind paying them $17 a month for something that they're never going to access. They are not selling to the kind of person I'm selling to. You also have to ask yourself, what is your bandwidth for new policies and procedures? Because every single offer creates policies and procedures. Every single one of them. They create a new onboarding sequence. They create work. If you have a membership, it's not as easy as just throwing up a membership. Somebody sent me a link just today about how the FTC is about to crack down on these memberships and have it where you have to let people unsubscribe in one click. And so all of them little games that people used to have where you had to jump through all these hoops and email support and wait 3 days and click on this page and then go to this link and do 2-factor authentication and reply back, cancel. You can't play them shenanigans no more. So it's always constantly changing anytime you put a new offer out there. I remember when I started doing Done For You copy, that created a whole new arm of business with a whole new set of processes. We needed a new contract because the responsibilities when you are a Done For You provider are very different than the kind of collaborative joint communication of coaching and consulting. So I had to pay for a new contract. I also had to set some deadlines. So if you signed up by this date, you had an onboarding call by this date, and you would get your first round of copy by this date. People also got rounds of revisions. Very few people used them, but we had them. So they had a certain amount of time and a certain process by which they could request a revision. I had a certain amount of time to do the revision. Then I had to make sure they got it. Then they had a certain amount of time to review again to make sure things were to their liking. And if people were on monthly payment, if their payment failed, then I didn't write their copy, and we had a process for how many times we would follow up. All of this was on top of running my coaching business. All this was on top of doing a live event. All this was on top of having a private podcast. This is the kind of stuff people don't talk about. This is why I don't let people bully me into just, oh, Nelly, just throw up a low ticket membership. Because it's going to add a layer of operational complexity in my business. If you are creating a new arm. Now, we've had a lot of different group coaching programs. So group coaching programs don't throw a wrinkle in my business because we've done them before. We had Sales Siren Academy. We had high ticket hit lists. We've run 3 or 4 cohorts of the mini mind. We had a program called the Bold Academy. I think this is group program number 5 or 6 for me. So we already have some systems. We already have some automations. We already have some things in the Airtable database. So it's not as difficult this time to get the lift, but there's still new curriculum, new videos. I mean, look, I had to go get my hair done to record these videos because I was looking crazy. Crazy. Um, that's the kind of stuff that people don't really talk about. That there is inherent risk that this might fail. So you definitely don't want to put more money into a program than you can afford to lose. And two, that there is an operational complexity, extra marketing, especially for people who launch. Y'all remember when everybody wanted to launch something? It was just masterclass city. Just everybody had a masterclass every week. You get a masterclass. You get a masterclass. You get a masterclass. They were all over, right? Most of those people are not only not doing masterclasses anymore, they're not even in business. Why? Because launching is inherently complex. And if you do not have the systems in place, it's a nightmare. Launching involves like 100 emails. You've got to have a system set up. You've got to know if it's evergreen or live. You got to know when the cohort starts, when your cart opens, when your cart closes. Your team got to be locked in. If you are a business that does not launch, launching just one time via masterclass could close your whole business. I know people whose launches went so bad that they closed their whole business down. This is why I don't just tell people, oh, just have a masterclass. Just do it next Tuesday. It takes way longer to promote than you think. It's harder to get people into these masterclasses than you think. If it's free, you ain't gonna get but 5 or 10 or 20% of people to show up. If it's paid, you get folks asking you 3,000 questions like they giving you their firstborn. Baby, it's $99. If you don't think the workshop is worth $99, don't come. But this is what you're up against. And I've met so many people who are like, my launch almost put me in it. My launch created my burnout. My launch created adrenal fatigue. I mean, I've heard stories of these launches that just take people out because they had no idea how much money they were risking, spending thousands on ads and not getting any return, spending thousands on consultants that gave them bad advice. I've been there. I've definitely had a launch flop because of the consultant I was working with. And I didn't listen to my gut. I knew the offer wasn't going to sell. I knew the offer wasn't right. I knew the positioning was off. But I stuck with it because I had paid this woman $20,000. And I was like, that's too much money for me to lose. I need to try and work this out. And all told, that launch cost me like $15,000. And I still had to deliver it. And I still had to build curriculum for it. And I still had to write a whole bunch of emails to add insult to injury. And I still had to save face with my team. I still had to pay my team. And show up every week for 10 weeks and act like I wasn't pissed off that my launch had failed. And have people saying, well, it didn't fail. You made sales. Who cares? If you spent more than you sold, that's how you go out of business. Supposed to be killing me. But you made money. Yeah, but we didn't make a profit. I only sell profitable offers. So if my offer is not profitable, I'm sorry. I'm just not. I can't be involved. So yeah, it's a lot. And then people go, well, you need to run an offer 2 or 3 times before you can really decide if it's worth it. Okay. Well, if it flopped the first time, you know you're going to have to tweak it. So then you have to ask yourself, I got payroll, I got expenses, I got a break even that's $25K. Do I have time to spend trying to fix what went wrong with this program, launch it again, and hope that we have a different outcome? Sometimes that answer is yes, and sometimes that answer is no. Not to mention, when that offer fails, you still got to make money. So then you got to go sell the stuff that was already selling. Well, when you sell it, now you have to fulfill it. So if I have a launch that didn't pan out and I say, you know what, I'm going to open the doors and I'm going to take 4 private clients. Well, now I'm serving those 4 private clients. So I don't have the time to go in and refine and tweak and edit and do market research and figure out exactly what went wrong in that program and try to get more eyeballs and do more marketing and run more ads on something that in my mind failed. Most people wouldn't. And this is how you end up with a shelf full of digital offers that never see the light of day again. I'm telling you, focus on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. The prize is whatever growth strategy you're trying to deploy and whatever offer is going to get you there. If you have an offer right now that has 40 to 60% profit, that is easy for you to deliver, that lights you up and is easy to sell it forever. Shiny object syndrome will have you chasing your tail. Do not try to go out and do what other people are doing if what you're doing is working. I meet people all the time. I met a young woman. She slid in my DMs. We ended up doing a one-time consult. But I met a young woman who was trying to get a low-ticket program off the ground. And her existing offer was 30 or 35,000. And this $30,000 or $35,000 offer was damn near all automated. Like, she showed up for one piece, but all the rest of it was managed by her team and AI, or like the whole thing was automated. Like 90% of this $30,000 offer was done without her even having to be involved. The offer sold well with their existing marketing, at least 1 or 2 units a week. Do that math. You selling $30,000 to $60,000 a week. And most people were on payment plans. So there was never a cash flow problem in this business because there were dozens of people paying $2,500 a month damn near indefinitely. So when she get in my DMs talking about how her low ticket offer has failed and she's been running ads and she's been trying this and trying that, my first question was, why are you trying to get a low ticket offer off the ground? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Do you just want more revenue? Like, do you want more cash? What are you trying to accomplish? Well, no, our revenue's great. We make plenty. We make a lot of money. We're making, hand over fist. I'm like, I know. Y'all should be doing $1.5, $2 million a year if you're making $30,000 plus every single week. You telling me this $30,000 offer sells every week and you could deliver it damn near in your sleep. So tell me again, on a business doing $1.5, $2 million top line revenue, what are you hoping this low ticket offer will accomplish? Well, everyone has an ascension model. Everyone has a low ticket offer. So I just figured I should have something, that nearer the bottom, to help more people. Okay. So what have you tried? Lord, this woman had dumped tens of thousands of dollars with this ad agency, had worked with this consultant to build this whole thing and wasn't getting no traction at all. Now, the service that was selling was a tech service. It was not AI, but it was not like a SaaS, but it was basically like a done for you kind of tech service for a certain industry or person. The low ticket offer was like a DIYer, if you want to learn to code, for instance, for yourself, if you want to learn this thing, buy this thing. There was no connection between the low ticket offer that had been built that she had already dumped like $50,000 in and the upsell that was already selling itself. There was no overlap. There was no way that any of the people in this low ticket thing were ever going to become that high ticket client. They didn't even qualify. They were like a completely different avatar. I said, so let me get this straight. You making 1.5 to 2 million in an offer you love that sells on repeat, that people don't default on, that you love to deliver. And because somebody online is selling something for $20 a month, you think you should have something that's $20 a month, and you just spent $50,000 and you can't even tell me why. Why not double down on what's already working? Why would you try and create a new offer and put it in a new marketplace? Just like we talked about. Diversification strategy, new service, new market. It's so risky because none of your data matters. If you got a brand new offer in a brand new market, none of your old data on what worked in your old market or what worked for your old process is going to work now. None of it. So you're literally starting from zero. It's like damn near a brand new company just under the same umbrella. Why? So I want to ask you today, if you're about to create a new offer, if you want new clients, if you want to move into a new arena, I'm going to ask you why. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Because if you just want more revenue, there's likely an easier way to get it. And before people say, Natalie, I just need more leads, that's usually not true either. If you only convert 1% of the leads you have now, having more leads is not going to help you. You're just going to convert 1% of a larger number. Wouldn't it make a lot more sense to get better at selling and better at marketing so you could convert 2 or 3 or 5% of the people you already have? People think more is better. Oh, I'm just going to do more. Right? I've had people tell me, my coach was telling me, hey, do a weekly masterclass, do a weekly webinar, right? But I know doing 52 webinars is not going to get me a better result. Maybe I'll get better at delivering webinars. Okay, that could be a result. But if the result is just getting 30 to 50 people in Birthright, there might be easier ways for us to do that. There might be some follow-up strategies I can deploy with people I'm already in community with to sell more people into the program that we have. I might not need buckets and buckets of more leads to run ads to a webinar hoping to get more people. If my existing webinar doesn't convert, getting more people in the webinar is not going to make it convert better. It's just going to exacerbate the problem. Now I've got 52 times the number of leads. So like me, I'm going to say, okay, Nat, you just did a masterclass. There's money everywhere. How many people bought? How many people showed up? And how many of those people bought? If the answer is less than the number I want, say I want 20% conversion on a paid live event. If I only converted 2%, then doing more of that masterclass isn't going to help me because I'm still going to convert 2%. I need to figure out what it is about that masterclass that's not performing the way that I need it to perform and improve it. This is how you keep from throwing all your money away. You got to be really clear on what you want. And I think a lot of the coach hurt and a lot of the issues and a lot of the money that was lost is because people weren't clear on what their objective was. I've certainly overinvested in areas because I was not 100% clear on exactly what I wanted my outcome to be. I wasn't sure yet. I started a YouTube channel. It's not even active. It's not even up. I got to get videos edited for it. But like, why did I do it? Well, because somebody told me I needed evergreen marketing. But I'm going to tell you the truth. Evergreen marketing ain't never done nothing for me. I've gotten 2 leads from SEO ever. Neither of them were qualified. Nobody reads my blog. To be fair, there's only like 3 posts on my blog, but my blog is not making me money. The only reason my business exists is because of social media. I'm not saying social media is perfect. I know you don't own it. I get it. I don't care. You don't own the music in your phone. You pay Apple Music $10.99 a month and it don't bother you. I don't know why all of a sudden because I don't own Facebook, now Facebook it has no value. It has value to me. I'm thankful for Facebook. I appreciate you, Zuckerberg. I say this to say, you got to be clear on what you want. Wanting evergreen content is great, but if you're not going to do anything with the evergreen content, if you don't have a strategy for the evergreen content, if you don't know how to market it, just having a YouTube channel or just having a podcast or just having a blog or just having SEO, it don't just work itself. You still have to market it. I would still have to drive traffic to this podcast. I would still have to drive traffic to this YouTube. I would still have to go on Facebook and say, hey, buy my thing. I would have to put it all on my website. I would have to update and pay for my SEO again. Like, it's still going to take some work. And I think at the time, I was just like, oh, I'm posting every day on Facebook. Maybe there's some other type of marketing that I don't have to post so much. I don't have to do so much. Yeah, okay, maybe you don't have to post, but you still gotta promote. It doesn't solve the underlying issue was that I was too tired to keep marketing at the volume I was marketing. So I tried to solve the wrong problem. So it's really important for you as you step into 2025 for you to be able to determine exactly what is your problem. Most people who follow me want more money, but how are you going to get it? Do you have a lead generation issue? Do you have a lead nurture issue? Meaning you can get leads, but you can't keep them long enough to nurture them to purchase. Or do you have a lead close issue? You can't get them to pay you even after you've nurtured them forever and ever. For years and years, I had a lead nurture problem. I could get people's attention. I have your attention right now. I could get their attention on Clubhouse, but I couldn't maintain those people. I had nowhere for them to go. I had no watering hole. I wasn't adding them to Facebook in a consistent manner. I wasn't putting them on my email list at all. And the room, once the room was over, the room was gone. You don't even have the recording. I mean, I've done probably 500 hours of talking on Clubhouse that's not even available. Like, it's not recorded, it's not cached, it's just gone into the ether, just marketing that like never happened. So you have to be clear on like, what is the issue I'm solving? How much time is it going to take me to solve it? How much money is it going to take me to solve it? And do we have the bandwidth to do that right now, or should we move this to another quarterly initiative? So when you sit down and do your forecast, you can be honest and you can make sure that you have enough money to do the whole job. So you don't end up with half of a podcast, half of a YouTube channel, had to bail on your coach because you couldn't pay them anymore. A lot of the reason we had these half-finished projects is because we didn't have enough money to embark on the project in the first place. We didn't have enough time to embark on the project in the first place. We just did it because at the time we had a impulsive decision to move forward with something. I hope that this helps. If you were in Birthright, you will see the next lesson where we're going to talk all about like the actual projections and knowing how much money you need to bring into your business every single month to be able to stay solvent, pay yourself, and do the right things, to be able to have money for marketing, money for upcoming legal expense, money for the things it takes to grow your business. If you're interested in getting in Birthright, you can shoot me a DM. If you're interested in working with me privately, I have the link in the pinned comment for you to be able to apply to either my VIP day, which now you can actually stay with me 30 days. My VIP day has turned into a 30-day sprint. It's less stress on everybody for you to have time for integration. So I'm excited about that. It's the same price, but you get to spread your time out over a longer time period. Or if you are interested in private coaching with me, private coaching, you have to be doing at least 100K a year. And you have to be wanting to at least double that next year. So if that sounds like you, hit me up. All right. In the meantime, I appreciate y'all. See you next week. Bye.